India is changing. It is all because the very education system is changing. It is all because the government wants everyone to be independent, Atmanirbhar. So let us make our Bharat from vikshit to absolutely developed, and whatever little, even a small spoon of what we put into the water will be a great help and an honor for ourselves to make our India a developed country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think your address was more inspirational. Thank you so much, Pratibha ma'am. Thank you for inspiring us. I hope your ideas might, help us make India even better for the next generation. Now we would start with the session. The first presenter is Dr. Mukhopadhyay. Dr. Papri Mukhopadhyay, if you are online and if you have joined, yes,
Yes,
kindly
yes,
unmute.
yes.
Just wait for our cue to start your presentation, ma'am.
Okay.
Papri ma'am, can you please speak?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, okay. Yes, good morning, respected chair, and everyone present today for the conference. First, I would like to thank MATS University, Department of English, for organizing this wonderful international conference on this wonderful topic and given us an opportunity to be part of this. Today, my topic is India 2047, a vision for sustainable development and global leadership. Now, I have taken two of the points, that is India's possible ways to grow in many areas, and the also India's thorough plan for the path to wealth and global prominence by 2047 by looking at current trends and policy frameworks and new problems. Now, I would like to read the abstract first. I'm reading the abstract. India is at a key point in its history, has a diverse population and has a growing economy. And by 2047, which will mark 100 years of independence, the country will have seen much growth and progress. Sustainability is one of the most important parts of India's growth plan, and India has promised to cut down on its carbon emissions and move towards a low carbon economy by signing foreign agreements. Adopting green energy sources, making homes and business more energy efficient, and encouraging sustainable farming are all important ways to reach these goals and protect the environment and energy supply. The main thing that is propelling India's growth is progress in technology, like intelligence, blockchain, and the Internet of Things are all significant steps forward that open up new ways to innovate change industries in ways that have never been seen before. With help from government programs like Startup India, Digital India, etc., uh, environment is proliferating. This is expected to spur technological innovation and entrepreneurship, which will help the economy grow and create jobs. India's growth story is based on social inclusion because the country has a diverse society, culture, and history of inequality. To make the dream of an inclusive society come true, It is important to fix the problems that cause differences in income, access to schooling, healthcare, and essential services to ensure fair growth.
Hello. Papri ma'am,
Hello. Hello.
Papri ma'am, we cannot, if you are presenting your slide, we cannot see your slide. And we
No,
can
no, no.
also,
I'm just reading the paper. I haven't any prepared any slides.
okay, ma'am, we cannot see your face either. So
Okay,
if you
okay,
could switch on
okay,
the camera or set your camera like that.
okay,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're visible now. Actually, ma'am, we are live, so we need to,
okay,
see your
okay, okay,
face.
okay. Now, let me come to the points that I have taken. That is, the first is possible ways for India to grow in many areas. Now, the first, I would like to take the economic growth and innovation. So, India's economic trajectory towards 2047 hinges on fostering innovation, entrepreneurships, inclusive growth, embracing emerging technologies that I have already mentioned in the apps, artificial intelligence, etc., and renewable energy that can catalyze economic diversification and job creation. Regarding sustainable infrastructure and urbanization, that is green infrastructure, which emphasizes the development of green infrastructure and including renewable energy projects, eco-friendly transportation systems, such as electrical vehicles and public transport, and sustainable building practices can reduce carbon emissions and minimize environmental impact. Smart cities that can also be accelerating the development. Smart cities equipped with advanced technologies for efficient resource management, traffic optimization, waste management, and enhanced quality of life can foster this sustainable urbanization and improve overall liabilities. Mixed up development, like encouraging mixed use development that integrates residential, commercial, and recreational spaces within urban areas can reduce sprawl, promote walkability, and minimize commuting disturbances, thereby lowering energy consumption and carbon emissions. Affordable housing, addressing the growing demand for affordable housing by implementing policies and initiatives to facilitate affordable housing construction, promote slum development, etc. And the very important is water management, that is implementing efficient water management practices, including rainwater harvesting, wastewater recycling, and sustainable groundwater management can address water scarcity, etc. Now, I will like to come the next part of the paper, that is, I cannot read the whole because it will really take a lot of time. Now, looking into India's thorough plan for path to wealth and global prominence by 2047 by looking at current trends, policy frameworks, and new problems. Now, economic growth and structural reforms continuously pursue policies aimed at sustaining high economic growth rates, focusing on structural reforms to enhance ease of doing business and also promote entrepreneurship, innovation, and technology leadership. Invest heavily in research and development to foster innovation across sectors with a particular focus on emerging technologies, such as renewable energy. Also encourage collaboration between academia, industry, and government to drive technological advancements.
Ma'am,
Skilling
please sum up.
education.
Ma'am, kindly conclude.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, please conclude.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, please
Okay,
conclude,
okay, okay.
Fatima.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, I have taken lot many points which I couldn't read out here. But to conclude, I would say that India's journey toward 2047 presents a myriad of opportunities and challenges, demanding concerted efforts across government, private sector, civil society, and academia. By prioritizing sustainable development and embracing innovation, fostering social inclusion, and enhancing global engagement, India can chart a course towards prosperity, resilience, and leadership on the world stage. However, realizing this vision requires a steadfast and commitment visionary. And also, it is important for all the citizens of India to be the part of it. And the collective action to navigate complexities and seize opportunities to the decades ahead. Thank you. Am I
Yes,
audible?
ma'am, you're audible, but
Yes, yes, I have ended my reading. I have ended my reading.
okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would call Dr.
Okay, okay,
Afaq
thank you.
Ahmed. Dr. Afaq Ahmed, if you're online, please join. Please start with your presentation. Dr. Chandra Lekha. Dr. Chandra Lekha JS.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I
You can.
audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can start with the presentation, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning to one and all. My name is Dr. Chandralekha. I'm working as an assistant professor in Davangere University, Karnataka. The title of my presentation is Role of Media in Democracy. In this era of information superhighway, modern mass media demonstrates significant effects on democracy. Access to information is crucial to well-being of democracy. It safeguards the interest of citizens and facilitates them to make responsibilities, uh, make responsible, informed choices rather than acting out of obliviousness or fabrication. On the other hand, media plays a watchdog role to monitor the conduct of government and its agencies. This is considered as a prerequisite for democratic setup to function efficiently. It keeps a check on elected representatives, making them to be more responsible and accountable towards the public. In some societies, a hostile relationship between media and government represents a vicious and solid element of closely functioning democracies. In post-war or ethnically homogeneous societies such as conflictual, tension-ridden relationships may not be appropriate, but the role of press to disseminate information as a way of mediating between the state and all the facets of civil society remain crucial. Democracy is ruled by the people. Democracy is a form of government which is subject to popular sovereignty. It is essentially a rule by the people, which is contrast to monarchy or aristocracy. One of the growing glories of democratic system is the freedom of expression and the space provided to view from different sections of the society. Reliable information sources are an important constituent of any democratic society. The mass media plays a crucial role in the modern political process, for even in elite forms of democracy, the polity requires some mediated communication with the populace to gain consent. Freedom of expression has long been seen as essential to protecting the rights of the individual from political tyranny. A government legitimated through consent depends upon free press. Abraham Lincoln defined it as a government of people, by the people, and for the people, whereas Bruce defined democracy as a form of government in which state is legally sovereign. According to Mazzini, democracy is the best and wisest form of government. The freedom of press or media refers to the rights given by the Constitution of India under the speech and expression in Article 19(1)(a). It encourages independent journalism and promotes democracy by letting the people voice their opinions for or against the government's action. This freedom incorporates the right to express freely one's conviction or opinion by speaking or through publication. This freedom forms foundation for democracy. The role of media as envisaged in the Constitution is to inform, educate, and entertain people. The media promotes informed citizenry, helping the public to make responsible, informed choices rather than acting out of ignorance or misinformation. The freedom of press is crucial for proper functioning of democratic system. The notion of free press is freedom of political opinion, and at the core of that freedom lies the right to criticize the government. Jawaharlal Nehru point, I would rather have a completely free press with all the dangers involved in the wrong use of freedom than a suppressed or regulated press. Media with considerable degree of editorial independence will serve the public interest. Reliable media outlets allow citizens to have access to acquired information that they need to make informed decisions and to participate in society. A media sector supportive of democracy would be one of that has a degree of editorial independence, is financially viable, and has diverse and plural voices and serves the public interest. The public interest is defined as representing plurality of voices, both through a greater number of outlets and through diversity of view and voices reflected within one outlet. Thus, a free and independent media as a credible outlet plays a meaningful role in strengthening democracy. In relevance with the freedom of press, former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi stated that freedom of press is an article of faith with us, sanctified by a constitution validated by 4 decades of freedom and indispensable to our future as nation. The role of media in democracy. The media not only connects the people with the government, but it also fosters public debate and political engagement. Media amplifies growth of political active civil society. The major role of media in the government is to promote engagement between the power and the citizen. Media acts as a civic forum, which in turn facilitates in achieving meaningful and serious political debates. According to Jefferson rightly stated that a well-informed citizenry is the best defense against tyranny. Democracy for its survival demands an informed citizenry and transparency. Mass media are politically engaged and therefore agents of political education. Indeed, the media may have largely replaced former representative institutions such as assemblies, parliaments, and local councils as arena for dialogues, debates, and deliberations that are very tough of democratic politics. Mass media is not only Mass media not only spread elite critical opinion but also influence creation, expression, and consumption of public opinion. Media enhances free flow of information. Media itself is a part of civil society arena, and it is well known that media overlaps other functional areas of democracy and governance. Media supports governance related activities, particularly related to decentralization, anti-corruption, citizen participation in policy process. The rule of law may be established by the support of free media that keeps a check on legislature, executive, and judiciary. Free and fair elections conducted through the transparent process requires a media sector which gives candidates equal access and reports the relevant issues in a timely and objective manner. Mass media and the watchdog role. Mass media uses its watchdog role to investigate and report on government overreach and wrongdoings and hold those in power accountable for their actions, keeping a track on politicians, authorities from misuse of power and their authority. With the use of investigative journalism, sting operation, media breaks news and scandals about atrocities, keeps a hawk-eye vigil uh, on the government. Investigative journalism
Hello.
is, yeah,
Dr.
yeah, ma'am.
Chandralekha, kindly conclude.
Okay. Uh, to conclude, free press is crucial for the maintenance of democracy in nation. In some countries, government imposed laws and restrictions on free media. This may be characterized by limited freedom of information and expression, restrictive licensing, violation of international human rights conventions, violation of constitution, national constitution. The information from the media helps them to take informed choices at the election, and to do so, citizens must have an accurate understanding of what is happening in their country. And our politicians playing by the rules, our public works free from embezzlement or lobbying interest, having unfair influence on the legislative process. All these are the questions watchdog journalist seeks to answer, and thus media and its watchdog function plays a very crucial role in democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, next participant is Dr. Pratap Kumar Das. Dr. Das, if you are online.
Yes, yes. Hello, madam. Am
Thank
I
you.
am I visible and audible?
Chandralekha, ma'am, kindly mute your mic.
Am I visible and audible, madam?
Yes, sir, you are. Yes, sir.
Because I have joined from my mobile.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible. Kindly continue.
Okay. Good morning, respected chairperson, presenters, and the organizers, particularly Ranjana, madam. The title of my paper is Dialoguing Nationalism Through Poetry. The notions of select poems of Alexander Pushkin, Walt Whitman, Aaron Tagore, and W. Yeats. Nationalism in poetry expresses our nation's character, merit, and legitimacy. It helps in the creation of national myth through it and develops a sense of national consciousness, placing emphasis on promoting one nation's culture and interests over others. It further emphasizes on the collective identity centered on a country's culture, language, and often values. Thus, poetry becomes not only a vehicle for the expression and circulation of nationalist ideas, but also a measure of the identity of a nation. In this context, my paper focuses on the poems of select nationalist poets such as Alexander Pushkin from Russia, Walt Whitman from America, R.N. Tagore from India, and W. Yeats from Ireland. First of all, I have taken Alexander Pushkin's To a Slanderers of Russia. The poem was written during 1830-31, that is Polish uprising. The immediate reason for writing it was that some members of the French Parliament had called for French armed intervention on the side of Polish insurgents against the Russian army. In the poem, Pushkin explains that from the Russian point of view, the uprising is just a part of the old quarrel between relatives, that is Slavs. He tells the French to leave Slavs alone because the eventual outcome of all quarrels between Slavs was to be decided between Slavs themselves. He says that the French parliamentarians should not interfere in this matter, and Russians should be greatly inspired because this is a real challenge for them to prove their integrity. As he says, rise, Russia's warriors, one and all, then send your numbers without number, you maddened sons, your goaded slaves. In Russia's plains, there is a room to slumber, and well, they'll know the Britons' graves. Then coming over to Walt Whitman's poem, Beat, Beat, Drums, it talks about the military concepts by calling on the drums and bugles, both of which are instruments that have historically been linked to military orders and direction. Then he dives back into the repeated source of demonstrating the actions of the drums and bugles by stepping into the description of how the war is impacting society. Putman begins by detailing how warfare reveals itself in the inanimate aspects of the land. But his major concern was to inspire the Americans, the citizens of America in general, so as to be inspired and think of their dignity, think of their democracy, and think of their future. Thus, this method, Whitman has given a viewpoint of war that could be very clear that it aims at developing a strong nationalism. Then coming over to W.B. Yeats, his poem to Ireland in the coming times, as you know that earlier he has written very good poems like the Lake Isle of Innisfree or the Wandering Oisin. So here in this poem, he discusses his impact on Ireland's social and cultural landscape. He suggests that he should be counted among the other revolutionaries who are Ireland's most important figures in the early 20th century. Here also in this poem, through his revolutionary spirit or representing himself as one of the revolutionaries, he wants to inspire the people of the country to join the movement in order to prove their patriotic spirit, their nationalistic spirit. He believes that God is with his songs, meaning that he is on the poet's side and is helping to inspire him to write more. He knows that what he writes will become the truth. He is going to cast the heart into all his rhymes until he is no longer uh, able to. He wants future readers to know that he was a part of the fight for Ireland's independence and that his heart went with them. Then coming over to Rabindranath Tagore's well-known poem, where the mind is without fear, which was published in Naivedya, 35th poem in 1910. Here, the poet asks God to provide his country with the freedom of thought and expression that leads to perfection, free from the shackles of superstitions and the bonds of societal ills. His nation be free of persecution, and that each individual be allowed to raise his head high. There should be no dread in the environment. So he envisions a country where people are honest and speak from the depths of their emotions. He aspires to live in a country where everyone is free to toil and work hard for anything they choose, whether the personal gain or for the sake of the country. So, like this, since this is a well-known poem, so I don't want to discuss more. But his strong trust in God and the people of India in terms of bringing real freedom. So he says that uh, he asks Father, addresses God as Father, to awaken his country to such a freedom from heaven. India would only be able to achieve full independence if she has a worldwide vision and a burning desire to realize great human aspirations, he says. Just like, the last lines of his poem, where the mind is led forward into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, let my country awake. Not only these four poets, but also some other poets like American poets, Francis Scott Key, whose poem Star Spangled Banner, and then Catherine Lee Bates, America the Beautiful. Similarly, Jose Rizal from Philippines, her poem is Mi Ultimo Adios. And a score of Indian poets such as Tagore's My India, My Pride, Sarojini Naidu's Bharat Jhanda, Harivansh Rai Bachchan's Azadi Ki Geet, Makhanlal Chaturvedi's Pushpa Ki Avilas, Samnal Gupta's Jhanda Uchcha Rahe Hamara, and of course, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee and Subramaniam Bharati as the patriotic poets. So it is evident that these variegated notions of presenting nationalism through poetry here evidences the imprints of strong commitment and inspiration for the future generations. When we talk of this Vikshit Bharat, one thing is very clear that we should be patriot. We should love our country, our culture, and our community.
Pradeep,
Such poets, yes.
Pranab sir,
Such
kindly
poets,
conclude.
yes. Such poets, of course, suffered a lot. Many of them have been punished by the colonial rulers, but they have become inspirations for generations, people of the country for generations to come. So this is all about my paper. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would call Dr. Andlib Zahra. Dr. Andlib, if you're online.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible and you're visible. Please start.
Good afternoon, respected chairperson, Dr. Pratibha Mukherjee, ma'am. And I'm really thankful to entire organizing team of Maths University for organizing such a wonderful conference, international conference, and giving me this opportunity to present my views in the form of a short presentation today. That's an oral presentation. So, topic of my research paper is a literary quest for happiness, a journey through words and worlds. The human quest for happiness is a universal theme that transcends cultures and historical periods. Literature, as a powerful mirror to the human experience, offers a rich area of characters embarking on journeys to find happiness. This paper explores the literary quest for happiness as a journey through words and worlds, analyzing how authors utilize narrative structures, character development, and symbolism to illuminate the complexities of achieving fulfillment. Happiness, a seemingly simple concept, becomes elusive when scrutinized. Is it external, found in material possessions and societal approval? Or is it an internal state cultivated through self discovery and meaningful connections? Authors often showcase these contrasting perspectives through their characters. In Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth Bennet initially seeks happiness in a financially secure marriage. However, through witty dialogue and societal critique, Austen demonstrates that true happiness arises from aligning personal values with love and respect, as Elizabeth finds with Darcy. The literary quest for happiness unfolds through diverse narratives. Some, like the picaresque adventures of Huckleberry Finn in Mark Twain's novel, portray happiness as a journey of self discovery. Huck escapes the confines of society, seeking freedom and authenticity on the Mississippi River. Conversely, in The Lord of the Rings, the protagonist explores happiness as a collective pursuit. The fellowship's quest to destroy the One Ring signifies the struggle for a greater good, highlighting the interdependence of happiness on the well being of others. The road to happiness is rarely smooth. Literary characters often encounter external obstacles in the form of social norms, political unrest, or even supernatural forces. In Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, Finch confronts racial prejudice in the form of segregated American South. Her fight for justice becomes intertwined with her own journey towards moral maturity, demonstrating that happiness is often inextricably linked to a larger social struggle. Despite the challenges, the journey itself holds significance. Characters who embark on a quest for happiness often undergo positive transformations. In Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, Sidney Carton sacrifices his own happiness for the sake of others, while seemingly tragic, Carton's selfless act signifies a profound shift in character, leading to a sense of inner peace and redemption. Literature's exploration of happiness wouldn't be possible without the power of language. Authors utilize imagery, metaphors, and symbols to convey the emotional nuances of the quest. In Shakespeare's Hamlet, to be or not to be signifies the complexities of human existence and the struggle for meaning using powerful language to depict the existential angst that can hinder the pursuit of happiness. The literary quest for happiness is an ongoing journey with no definite endpoint. Authors offer a multitude of perspectives demonstrating that happiness is multifaceted and subjective. By engaging with these narratives, readers gain insights into their own desires and challenges, making the literary exploration of happiness a valuable tool for navigating life's complexities. The quest itself, filled with challenges and transformation, may ultimately be more meaningful than arriving at a fixed destination. I sum up To sum up, literature is an invaluable ally in the never ending pursuit of happiness. Through presenting a range of viewpoints, examining emotional intricacies, and examining both achievements and setbacks, books and poetry provide us recognizable people, provocative queries, and timeless lessons. Happiness, however elusive, is nevertheless a trip worth taking, as Maya Angelou's poem Still I Rise tells us, I quote, I rise, I rise, I rise, I end quote, propelled by the resiliency and optimism found within the broad and fascinating world of literature. Thank you so much. This is all from my side.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would call Abhishekta Bhattacharjee. Abhishekta, if you're online.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can
Can
you
you?
hear me?
Yes, you're audible. Can you switch on your camera? Yes,
Yes, I have switched it on, and I have one PPT to present. So can I do that?
sure. Yes.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Can you see the PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm Abhishekta Bhattacharjee from Kolkata, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to present my paper. So the title of my paper is Empowering the Powerless, Super 30, and the Journey from 12th Fail to Nation Building. So, at the onset of my presentation, I would like to apprise all of you with my abstract. So, the cinematic landscape serves as a potent medium for shaping societal perceptions and instigating change, with films often transcending mere entertainment to become powerful vehicles for inspiring and mobilizing communities towards collective progress. This paper delves into the transformative potential of films such as Super 30 and 12 Fail as catalysts for nation building in India. Super 30 chronicles the remarkable journey of the famous mathematician Anand Kumar from Bihar, who embarks on a mission to provide free education and membership to underprivileged students, defying social barriers and systematic injustice prevalent in our system. Meanwhile, 12 Fail offers a poignant portrayal of resilience and redemption as it follows the real life experiences of the IPS officer Manoj Kumar Sharma. It beautifully portrays the pursuit of academic success despite facing numerous academic setbacks and societal pressure. The rationale behind choosing these two films in particular is the fact that both the films celebrate the rise of underprivileged youth of our country and defy the concept that students from the urban and educated background can only compete and aspire for IITs and prestigious posts like an IPS officer. Both the films show a new way of building a new India which resonates with audiences through its thematic representation, spark dialogues, and inspire collective action towards building a more equitable and inclusive India. So, talk about Super 30. It actually is a potent medium of nation building by highlighting the transformative power of education and the resilience of human spirit. Through the lens of the mathematician Anand Kumar Sharma, we see the film portrays the crucial role of education in uplifting marginalized communities and bridging socio-economic gaps by providing free coaching and support to underprivileged students aspiring to crack the prestigious IIT JEE entrance. Super 30 challenges systematic barriers and empowers individuals to overcome adversity. Furthermore, it sparks conversation about the need for systematic reforms in the education sector, which is very, very crucial for building a true India and a kind of developed India that provides equal success and equality of education for all. By advocating education for all and equality in terms of social inclusion, the film contributes to the broader discourse of nation building and social development. And let us look at the real life story of Anand Kumar, who hails from Bihar, Patna, who was born in 1973. He faced numerous financial constraints in his life, but displayed exceptional mathematical talent. Despite lacking resources for formal education, he pursued his passion for mathematics. Witnessing the struggles of underprivileged students, Anand founded the Super 30 Institute in 2002. The institute's mission was to provide free coaching and support to economically disadvantaged students aspiring to crack the IIT JEE entrance. Each year, Anand selects 30 meritorious students from the rural and impoverished backgrounds through a rigorous entrance exam. These students receive free coaching, study materials, and accommodation, significantly reducing the financial burden associated with exam preparation. Despite facing numerous challenges, Anand's dedication and belief in the students' potential have yielded remarkable results. Many Super 30 alumni have successfully secured admission to prestigious engineering colleges, including the Indian Institute of Technology. When it comes to 12 Fail, which actually took the entire nation by storm, which when it was released on the OTT, the central theme of 12 Fail is overcoming failure and societal expectation, which is intricately woven into the narrative, which actually inspired the audience to the core through the portrayal of the real life character IPS officer Manoj Kumar Sharma and how he navigates the complexities of academic setbacks because he was a failure in his 12th grade exam, and how he challenged his self-worth, and how he became an aspiration for the entire youth of India. Through the lens of Manoj Kumar Sharma in the film, it delves deep into the psychological and emotional turmoil caused by academic failure. It vividly depicts the immense pressure placed on students to conform to societal expectation and academic pressure. It also highlights the detrimental impact of academic failure on the mental health and self esteem. However, amidst the despair and uncertainty, 12 Fail offers a message of hope. The characters embarks on journeys of self discovery, learning to redefine success on their own terms and pursue their passions with unwavering determination. The 12 fail is also a kind of narrative which fosters a culture of learning and growth, which is very, very crucial if you are to pursue a kind of exam like UPSC. If you want to become a civil service, you need to have a lot of resilience, patience, and perseverance. It underscores the importance of continuous learning and growth. It highlights the value of perseverance in the face of adversity, encouraging individuals to view failure as opportunities for self improvement and personal development. It also serves as a powerful source of inspiration for those aspiring to join the civil services. The characters' commitment to public service and their demonstration of leadership qualities such as integrity, empathy, and social responsibility inspired the aspirants to pursue their dreams despite obstacles. So films like Super 30 and 12 Fail have a significant impact beyond their entertainment value. Firstly, these films promote the importance of education as a cornerstone of nation building. We cannot eradicate the concept that education is the stepping stone for building a true nation. Super 30 highlights the transformative power of education, which actually empowers the underprivileged students to achieve academic excellence. Similarly, 12 Fail portrays characters overcoming setbacks and societal pressure. They also encourage reviewers to question societal barriers and strive for excellence irrespective of their background. These films address socio-economic disparities by shedding light on the challenges faced by marginalized communities. By highlighting the struggles of characters from underprivileged backgrounds, both the films advocate for systematic reforms to bridge the gap and promote social mobility. The emphasis of both the films is on inclusivity and equal opportunities that contributes to building a more cohesive and resilient society. So
Hello.
to conclude, I would like to say, yes.
Please conclude.
Yes, this is the last slide. So I would like to say that when the entire nation is swamped by the success of Animal, but nobody watched 12 film in the theater, it is actually kind of marker that these films are very very necessary to actually shatter the concept of hyper masculinity and toxic masculinity, because Manoj Kumar Sharma is a man that our nation wants, not a person like Animal, which has been showed in the movie. So they also show women as very very central in their films. They are not hangers used by men. So all these things contribute a lot in building a very genuine and authentic nation. So with this, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, I would call Suchismita Ghoshal. Suchismita, ma'am, if you're online. Suchismita, ma'am. Okay. Next, BN Panda. BN Panda and Dr. KN Kishore. Dr. Kishore, if you're present, kindly switch on your camera.
Ma'am, actually, Panda will be presenting the paper.
Okay, sir. So if they are online, kindly ask them to switch on the camera.
Yeah.
Mr. Panda, if you cannot do it right now, may I call upon the next presenter?
Yeah, ma'am, you can call the next presenter. I just asked him.
Okay, next I would like to call Shelja Bahadur madam for a presentation.
Hello. Hello. It's okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm very much encouraged by your talks when you spoke about NEP. This is off grid, my presentation. I would want to thank you. And when you spoke about English as a language that one must learn, not because the language needs to be ostracized, it does not belong to India, but I encourage my students to learn as many languages because that stimulates their brain cells and make their learning better. So I was very happy to hear that, yes, people at your level also think like that. Uh, well, today's my topic is um, it is not exactly about Vikshit Bharat, but it is, of course, like a comparison between how India has progressed after we got good leadership and how other countries in deficit of good leadership, how they had suffered when they suffered a civil war. So the title of my topic is Between Bullets and Broadcasts, the Communal Strife and the Impact of Propaganda's Paradox, Navigating Media and Democracy in Nigeria's Biafra's War. So how media plays have a very important role. While if there is unrest in our country, I would like to omit some part of my paper because it's a long paper. So I would just like to start with the historical context of when Nigeria it received freedom from the British rule in 1960, and Biafra wanted to secede from the original country. How was the historical context of it? It is essential to comprehend the historical background that led to the Biafra War in order to appreciate the role that propaganda played in the conflict. Nigeria's colonial past, which left a patchwork of ethnic groups and conflicting interests in its wake, is the source of the problems. When Biafra declared its independence in 1967, it set off a bloody war that left millions of people homeless and kills hundreds and thousands. Propaganda became a potent tool in the pandemonium used by the Biafran separatists and the Nigerian government alike. Understanding the complex dynamics of the Biafra war, particularly the role of propaganda, requires an understanding of the historical background of the battle. Nigeria's post independence environment was significantly shaped by its colonial history, which was marked by the British domination. Policies implemented by the colonial government frequently made ethnic and regional differences worse, creating the conditions for tensions that eventually broke out into the Biafra War. Then propaganda and media manipulation, how they played their role. Fundamentally, democracy is predicated on the values of openness, responsibility, and intellectual freedom as we are witnessing in our country. But the Biafra War's widespread propaganda revealed the underlying conflicts between democratic principles and the reality of media manipulation. Even while purportedly democratic regimes support free speech and educated citizens, they frequently utilize propaganda to stay in power. This paradox emphasizes how susceptible democratic institutions are to the all-pervasive power of propaganda. During the Biafra War, propaganda was used as a control mechanism as well as a weapon for mobilization. The Biafran leadership used printed materials and radio broadcasts to mobilize support for their cause and win over sympathies from across the world. While the Nigerian government used state run media sources to spread narratives painting the Biafran secessionists as traitors and agitators. These misinformation campaigns deepened already existing rifts between ethnic groups, stoking mistrust and animosity while eroding hopes for peace. Propaganda became a powerful tool during the Biafran War, used by the Biafran separatists and the Nigerian government to further their own goals and sway public opinions. On both sides of the fight, propaganda shaped beliefs, narratives, and allegiance by acting as a weapon of mobilization as well as a mechanism of control. The paradox of propaganda in democracy, fundamentally, democracy is predicted on the values of openness, responsibility, and intellectual freedom. But the Biafra's war's widespread propaganda revealed the underlying conflicts between democratic principles and the reality of media manipulation. Even while democratic regimes support free speech and educated citizens, they frequently utilize propaganda to stay in power. This paradox emphasizes how susceptible democratic institutions are to the all-pervasive power of propaganda. The Biafra War serves as an example of the paradox of propaganda in democracy, highlighting the fundamental conflict between democratic principles and the reality of media manipulation. Transparency, accountability, and the open interchange of ideas are the fundamental tenets of democracy and the foundation of a robust democratic society in an informed populace. But when misinformation and disinformation have the ability to manipulate, as propaganda often does, in crisis setting, it exposes the weakness of these democratic ideals. In order to solve the paradox of propaganda in democracy, one must be dedicated to maintaining democratic values throughout times of strife. This means encouraging media literacy, protecting press freedom, and developing accountability and openness in government communications. Democratic societies can lessen the damaging effects of propaganda and preserve the integrity of democratic institutions by giving individuals the ability to critically assess information and holding government responsible for their actions. To conclude, the Biafra War is a sobering reminder of the serious harm that misinformation does to democracy and intergroup conflict. It is critical to address the legacy of propaganda and its persistent impact on public discourse and national unity as Nigeria struggles with ethnic tensions and political instability. Examining the intricacies of media participation in the Biafra War,
Ma'am, please conclude.
Nigerian society must defend democratic values and continue to be watchful against the pernicious effects of misinformation going forward. The pursuit of a more robust democracy and a more unified society ultimately necessitates an unwavering dedication to addressing the legacy of propaganda and preserving the core tenets of democracy. Nigeria and other countries impacted by propaganda can only move towards a future marked by harmony, peace, and democratic government by tackling these issues. Thank you. Thank you for letting your merit uh, take attention of my paper and my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank. Next, I would like to call Astha Khandelwal for her presentation.
Am I audible? Hello, this is Astha Khandelwal. I'm a research scholar currently pursuing my PhD degree from Maths University. My topic is the role of literature in addressing the climate crisis in Amitav Ghosh's novel, The Gun Island, which was published in the year 2019. This study examines the complex relationship between literature, environmental issues, and the work of Amitav Ghosh's The Gun Island. Examining the novel's influence on environmental discourse and public consciousness in an age of intensifying climate catastrophes is the goal of this study. Amitav Ghosh's The Gun Island is a fascinating case study in the literary reaction to the climate catastrophe because of the author's distinctive narrative technique, which combines fictional and real aspects. Ghosh uses ecological themes to show how human and nature are interwoven in his novel. Since the climate crisis has worsened, society has demanded action. This has made literature a powerful instrument for studying and addressing climate change's complicated concern. The Gun Island is a sobering reminder of our connection to Mother Earth. Deen Datta's story tackles climate change's profound effect on individuals and communities. With dexterity, the author mixes history, mythology, and science to depict physical and metamorphical landscape. At the heart of ecological disaster lies Gun Island, a mysterious island steeped in local legend. Traveling across nation and civilization, Dean meets many people whose lives are deeply influenced by environmental catastrophe. Whether in the Sundarban jungles or Kolkata flood-stricken slums, Ghosh creates a world where time stops still and myth and fact mingle in ecological disaster. Aside from highlighting the urgency of climate change, Ghosh tales also show how literature can promote social and environmental change. Through its universal story, The Gun Island forces readers to face hard facts about humanity's influence on the environment and contemplate their role in creating a greener tomorrow. The key themes of this novel are as follows: interconnectedness of system, environmental degradation, culture and ecological resilience, role of myth and storytelling, adaptation, we see migration. This research used The Gun Island by Amitav Ghosh to demonstrate the importance of literature in climate change. Comprehensive technique and academic research analysis yielded several crucial results. The Gun Island reveals that environmental degradation affects human civilization and institutions. An assessment of Ghosh's story, interrelated social, cultural, and economical dimension shows how urgent climate change action is. This book also criticizes anthropocentrism and humankind's dominance over nature. By telling the tales of marginalized communities affected by environmental disaster, Ghosh challenges readers to rethink their environmental duty. Literature can communicate the climate challenge, increase understanding and compassion, and inspire social action according to the research. The Gun Island captivative story sparks discussion on environmental ethics and action. The finding of this study demonstrate literature's ability to change society and the environment. This study reveals how literature may influence ideas, initiate debate, and unite communities to fight climate change, making use of literary narratives essential. Thank you.
Thank you, Astha. Next, I would like to call Shruti Chaturvedi for her presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected teachers and my friends, too. I am presenting research paper, and my title is to analyze the structure of identity, build up the different character, present the novel White by Zaidi Smith. To aim of this paper to analyze the construction of identity of immigrants of Bangladeshi, Samad Iqbal and Englishman Archie Jones. Those are close friends live in a multicultural city of London in Britain, which White Teeth novel explore the trouble related to the existence of the immigrants from different countries in Britain affects adversely to their legacy of the physical artifacts and intangible attributes of ethnic group inherited from the past from the first generation to second generation. The Immigrant the Smith's novel, which is interlinked to their past, and they also unsatisfied with their life in a contemporary society. Their past, they also society, and Smith sensitively pointed in the second generation immigrants and their belief, which transmitted from ultra modern society in terms of their bringing up, living standard value, taboos, thinking process, etc. The aim of this paper is evaluated the way of construction of identity of different characters, present the novel Whitehead with the lenses of different theory of social culture in colonial theory, hybrid theory, postmodern era and social system. This paper also explored how character exited in the novel construct the identity of themselves and how culture interact on its identity formation in Whitehead. Coming on summary, Zaidi Smith was novel White Teeth explored the theme of family, friendship, cultural identity. Two friends, Archie Jones and Samad Iqbal, lives in Bangladesh in London in Second World War. After World War, Iqbal married to Bengali woman Alsana, where Archie Jones, Kalra Borden, Samad Iqbal back to London along with his wife Alsana and have two children, Magid and Mirets. Magid sent the Bangladesh for learned about the motherland culture, whereas Millet and Eri, born and brought up in the London city on Western city and tried to adopt Western culture like drug abuse, womanizer, etc. Story revolving around this three family facing their problem of identity. Research methodology. Research adopted collective destructive method was used for this research paper to analyze the data. This research divided into two steps. Data collection, a process of gathering the data, can be used as a data analysis and called data collection. Analyzing the data, review of IT, novel Zaidi Smith, this primary source for the data. After this, I figure out some of this the related to research problem and make analyze on the hybridity, multiculturalism in post-colonial theory. In this case, about hybridity and multiculturalism, character by applying the principle of certain elements of post-colonial theory about hybridity and culturalism. Coming on conclusion, if we analyze a novel with white teeth, clearly imprint of culture, hybridity and genetically hybridity, it is clear, visible, Homi ke Bhaba post-colonial both problem in Erie as a ethnic problem, genetical problems to straighten her hair. Secondly, she suffered from English language due to she came from different country because her mother is Jamaican. Thank you.
Thank you, Shruti. I would like to request BN Panda sir and Dr. KN Kishore sir, if you are online and if you will be able to present your paper.
Ma'am, actually, Panda is unable to connect.
Sir, if you will be able to present the paper, then
Ma'am,
kindly.
actually, he has the paper. Actually.
Okay, sir. Okay. Uh, Last call for Suchismita Ghoshal. If Suchismita is present in the group, kindly join. Kindly start with your presentation. Suchismita. Okay. Vinod Kumar. Vinod Kumar, uh, did you join your panel?
No,
Okay.
ma'am. Actually, I forgot the. Here, ma'am.
Okay, Vinod. Yes, please start with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Hello.
Vinod, if you want to present your paper, kindly unmute yourself and start. If not, then we are going to conclude the session.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes. Switch
Okay.
on your
Thank
camera,
you, ma'am.
please. Switch on your camera, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Please start.
A very good morning to all of you. Myself, Vinod Kumar, a research scholar from MATS University from the Department of English, and I am with the help of this paper here to discuss with you the topic of role of literature in building a robust society. So let us start with the concept of literature first. Literature broadly encompasses written works used to transmit culture. However, literature is not always limited to the written word. It can also include stories told in the oral tradition and visual literature, such as drama, that is intended to be performed before an audience. Literature is a body of written works. The name has traditionally been applied to those imaginative works of poetry and prose, distinguished by the intentions of their authors and the perceived aesthetic excellence of their execution. Another definition says literature is a method of recording, preserving, and transmitting knowledge and entertainment, and can also have a social, psychological, spiritual, or political role. These are some of the key aspects of a literature. And now let us move on to the society. A society is a group of individuals involved in persistent social interactions or a large social group sharing the same spatial or cultural territory, typically subject to the same political authority and dominant cultural expectations. In other words, we can say that a society is a group of members or community who share some common language, cultural, or traditional values around them. Now, looking forward, let us discuss the role of literature in shaping a society. Revolutionary writers often use their work as a powerful weapon to question, challenge, and subvert established norms, values, and traditions, reinforcing the inherent power of literature. George Orwell's 1984 and Aldous Huxley's Brave New World serve as warning against the totalitarian societies influencing readers' perspectives. Literature is an important tool for social change. It facilitates dialogue, encompasses readers to question their perceptions, nurtures empathy, and most importantly, uncovers the silent voices in the society. Based on the earlier discussions, we conclude that literature plays a very significant role in nurturing good seeds in the minds of the people. This ultimately results in positive change. It has also been said that literature is the mirror of the society. Providing a robust environment surrounding readers who engage with knowledge. Literature is a profound influence on society. Let us look at the role had. The author is quite aware of the consequences of its text towards the audience. Nowadays, with the help of social media, people are more socially aware of the happenings within their circles and outside of it too. Thus, we can easily assume that the impression of an author through its writings is enormously wide in range. In the present scenario, with the help of multimedia and social media platforms, one can easily access the print or digital text from around the world and have a translation of it through Google Translator. With all these remarks, I would like to conclude saying that no knowledge is imminent unless it is useful to the society. Thank you very much for listening me patiently. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinod. With this, we come to the end of this panel. I would request the chair for the session, Dr. Pratibha Mukherjee Saukar, Madam, to give your concluding remarks.
Thank you so much. As for the papers that I heard, uh, I hope that I'm not skipping on any of the ones who spoke here. I heard Dr. Papre Mukhopadhyay, and I think I also heard Chandralekha. She was there, Chandralekha, isn't it? Yes, Chandralekha, when she was speaking, it was on the role of media in democracy, and this is one of the most important thing as she was talking about. One of the best that I found was mm, Uh, Abhishekta Bhattacharya. I love the topic very much. She spoke on something of the movies, 12th Fail to Super 30, and I think that one of the most important here spoke very well. I would congratulate the speakers, and I hope that they
chair. Hello. Hello. Due to some due to some technical issues, the session you were not able to see the session. The session ended with the chairperson's remark. Now we are heading towards a group photograph, and the second session, the first panel of the second session has ended. Thank you so much for connecting with us. We would see you all in the second half, or the third session will start at 2. So do join us. Thank you so much.